Hey warriors, welcome back. You know that moment, your heart hammers in your chest, your palms are slick, and your throat closes up. You have something critical to say, but a voice inside your head shouts, "Shut down, don't risk it, listen closely." That isn't caution, that is your weak identity hijacking your potential. I was trapped there for years, sitting in meetings, watching others claim the spotlight, watching them get the results, wondering what secret they had that I didn't. Then I uncovered a truth, a principle from Niccolo Machiavelli, written centuries ago, and it clicked. My issue wasn't a lack of confidence, it was a weak identity, a parasitic program running in my subconscious, draining my power without my consent. Think back, what were you taught as a child? Be polite, don't cause trouble, wait for your turn, don't be too much. Your family, your teachers, they had good intentions, but they took a bold, untamed spirit and conditioned you into someone who seeks permission. Someone who waits for an invitation, someone who dims their own light to avoid making others uncomfortable. And now, you bite your tongue when you should lead the conversation. You agree when every fiber of your being screams no. You make yourself invisible. That isn't your character, that's conditioning, faulty code. Here is the Machiavellian truth most people never grasp. The world doesn't reward the timid, it consumes them, it walks over them, it forgets they were ever there. But code can be rewritten, parasites can be purged, and that weak identity can be dismantled and rebuilt into something formidable. In this video, I'm breaking down 8 psychological triggers drawn from Machiavelli. These aren't tips, they are system overrides. Stay until the end, because you're about to get the complete operating manual to become a person your current self would fear. I want you to drop this code in the comments. The program is deleted. Before we get to the tactics, you need to understand a fundamental truth about identity. Your identity isn't who you are, it's not permanent, it's not in your DNA. Your identity is a set of narratives you've repeated so often, you've mistaken them for reality. I'm an introvert, that's a story, I'm not qualified, that's a story, I'm not a leader, that's a story, I lack confidence, that's a story. You've been reciting these scripts for years, and now they feel true. But they are not truth, they are just outdated code. A weak identity says, I need everyone's approval. I can't deal with conflict. I'm not prepared. I need more information. I don't measure up. A powerful identity says, I define my value. I act despite uncertainty. I learn through execution. My validation comes from within. Same human, same mind, different narrative, different destiny. Here's the Machiavellian key. Stop obsessing over being good or bad. Those concepts are cages. The only question that matters is this effective? Do your behaviors produce the outcomes you want? Does your energy demand attention? That is what we are constructing today. Let's begin. Number 1, eradicate the people pleaser protocol. Let's dissect the desire to be liked. Everyone craves it. It's seen as a virtue, but let me expose what likable often means. It means you're afraid of causing a ripple. It means you sacrifice your own priorities for others. It means you're conditioned to believe that setting a boundary is a personal failure. That isn't kindness. That is servitude with a friendly face. Machiavelli said, men are so simple and so much inclined to obey immediate needs that a deceiver will never lack victims for his deceptions. The people pleaser is the easiest mark in any group. They can't enforce boundaries. They can't defend their resources. Every opportunist knows how to find them. Here is the system override. When you feel that automatic pull to say yes, halt, ask one question. Am I agreeing because it aligns with my goals, or because I'm afraid of momentary discomfort? If it's fear, you know the answer. Example, someone asks for a favor that would cancel your plans for rest. You feel the old code activating. Say yes. Make them happy. New code, that doesn't work for me. Notice, no long explanation, no apology, no negotiation. You state your position and move on. Your new core directive: I am not nice. I am principled and tactical. Principled means you operate with integrity. Tactical means you safeguard your mission. Start small. Replace the automatic yes with I'll get back to you. Endure the unease. Survive it. Every time you hold your boundary, you are coding a new identity. Drop this in the comments. Principled, not passive. Number 2, re-engineer your internal dialogue. There is a running commentary in your mind. For most, it's a saboteur. It says, you'll fail. They'll reject you. You don't belong here. That voice isn't keeping you safe. It's holding you hostage. It's the old software fighting for survival. Machiavelli said, the first method for estimating the intelligence of a ruler is to look at the men he has around him. Your inner circle is your own mind. If your self-talk is weak, your reign is weak. Here is the reprogramming. Your weak inner voice speaks in emotions. I feel anxious. I feel inadequate. Your strong inner voice speaks in directives. Analyze. Decide. Execute. Adapt. When your mind says, I'm terrified to start, don't debate the terror. Translate it. Command, begin phase 1 now. Assess results later. The formula is emotion, command, motion. Practical drill. For 1 week, every time you think I feel, immediately add therefore I will. I feel overwhelmed by this task. Therefore, I will set a timer for 25 minutes and begin. I feel nervous to network. Therefore, I will introduce myself to one person today. You are wiring your brain to connect sensation with initiative. Feelings cease being roadblocks. They become propulsion. Drop this code in the comments. Emotion fuels motion. Number 3, master strategic personas. Here is what fragile individuals fail to comprehend. You are not required to be one static person in all circumstances. They claim, I have to be authentic, using realness as a shield against evolution. Machiavelli wrote, the vulgar crowd always is taken by appearances. The powerful know that different arenas demand different characters. A general doesn't command a battlefield like he relaxes at home. Here is the framework. Cultivate 3 mental personas you can switch between deliberately. Persona 1, the analyst. Engage this for decisions, negotiations, strategy. Remove emotion. Focus on data. Ask, what is the objective? Detach from ego. Attach to outcomes. Persona 2, the fortress. Activate this when facing provocation, chaos, or pressure. You become impenetrable. You observe without reacting. Your stillness becomes your strength. Their drama breaks against your walls. Persona 3, the scout. Use this in new environments. You listen 80%, speak 20%. You are mapping the territory, learning the hierarchies, identifying unseen opportunities. The scout gathers intelligence before engaging. Before you enter any key situation, consciously select your persona. This requires the analyst. This destroys the myth that you are confined to a single, rigid personality. You are not just shy or reactive. Those were unconscious defaults. Now you command them. Command is power. Drop this in the comments. I command my persona. Number 4, eliminate the validation dependency. You are addicted to approval. You need the nod, the smile, the good job. This need makes you manipulable and weak. Machiavelli stated, it is much safer to be feared than loved. This isn't about instilling fear in others. It's about understanding that in any dynamic, a frame exists. You either control the frame or you are controlled by it. The detox. For 30 days, perform one small act daily that might draw a questioning look. Order a meal without justifying your choice. Voice a conviction without cushioning it with maybe. Leave a conversation when you are done, not when it's socially convenient. Each act teaches your nervous system a vital lesson. Disapproval is not a threat. A sideways glance won't harm you. Your new operating system. Opinions are data, not decrees. You can listen to feedback, but you are not obligated to obey it. The individual who doesn't need approval is immune to social manipulation. They cannot be controlled by peer pressure. That is your target. Drop this in the comments. Validation is optional. Number 5. Let fear be your guide. Fear is the filter. It separates the action takers from the dreamers. Right now, your brain interprets fear as a stop signal. But in the modern world, fear is rarely about survival. It's about ego, about the potential for awkwardness or imperfection. Machiavelli knew there is no avoiding war. It can only be postponed to the advantage of others. Every significant endeavor involves risk. Every risk generates fear. If you flee from fear, you flee from your own expansion. The reframe, fear is not a red light. It is a GPS coordinate for your growth. What makes you afraid right now? Presenting an idea. That fear marks the path to authority. Launching a venture. That fear points toward autonomy. Fear defines the border of your current self. Most people live their entire lives inside that border. You will charge toward it. Practical method. When fear arises, don't rationalize it away. Don't wait for courage. Instead, declare, fear signals growth. This is the path. I advance now. Then count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and move before your excuses can form. Institute this rule. If an action won't cause physical harm and the only obstacle is the fear of judgment, you must execute it within 24 hours. Follow this for 6 months. You will be unrecognizable. Drop this in the comments. Fear is my guide. Number 6. Decouple your worth from outcomes. This is the trap that paralyzes high-potential people. They've linked their self-esteem to results. If I succeed, I am worthy. If I fail, I am worthless. So they never begin. They perfect, they plan, they prepare. Because attempting and falling short feels like annihilation. This is irrational. Machiavelli advised, entrepreneurs are simply those who understand that there is little difference between obstacle and opportunity. Every move carries uncertainty. If you require a guarantee of success, you will be permanently stationary. The identity shift. Stop evaluating yourself by outcomes. Start evaluating yourself by your willingness to act. Old identity, my success defines me. A new identity, I am an action taker. Results are feedback, not verdicts. Before a major move, install this belief. No matter the outcome, I win because I moved while others hesitated. I gained experience they never will. When others are playing, don't embarrass yourself. You are playing, accelerate my learning curve. The person who takes 100 swift actions will always surpass the person who takes 10 perfect ones. Weekly drill. Each Monday, identify 3 tasks you're avoiding due to uncertainty. Complete all 3 by Friday. Track only completion, not perfection. Build your identity on initiative, not outcomes. Drop this in the comments. I measure my action. Number 7. Forge confidence with proof. This is why most motivational advice fails. It tells you to believe without evidence. You're confident, but your history says different. Real confidence isn't built on platitudes. It's built on a stack of proof. Your brain is a skeptical juror. It demands exhibits before it changes its judgment. Machiavelli said, men in general judge more by their eyes than by their hands. Your brain judges you by your demonstrated actions, not your internal wishes. If you retreat from challenges, your brain concludes you are not capable. No mantra can override that. Here is the flip. generate undeniable evidence, create an evidence ledger. Every night, log 3 specific instances from the day where you moved through resistance. I sent the email I was overthinking. I defended my viewpoint in the meeting. I finished the hard task instead of distracting myself. Do this daily without exception. In 30 days, you have 90 data points proving you are someone who does hard things. In 90 days, you have 270. This evidence is irrefutable. When the weak identity whispers, "You can't," you present the ledger. The data says otherwise. Your brain must accept the new evidence and update its profile of you. This is confidence through engineering. You are not wishing for it. You are building the case that makes it inevitable. Drop this in the comments. I build my proof. Number 8. Install the asset mindset. This is the culmination. Most people operate in a defensive posture. They enter situations hoping to avoid disaster. They navigate life hoping to merely survive. This is the mentality of prey, and the world detects it. Machiavelli wrote, "The lion cannot protect himself from traps, and the fox cannot defend himself from wolves. One must therefore be a fox to recognize traps, and a lion to frighten wolves." This is about recognizing that in every interaction there is a power dynamic. Either you are the asset or you are the applicant. The shift, stop being someone who hopes for a chance, become someone that people feel compelled to take seriously. Here is the internal code to run before any significant event. I am not here to be chosen. I am here to determine if this is worthy of my contribution. The burden of proof is on them. You don't voice this. You don't act entitled. You simply hold this frame internally. It transforms your entire presence. Because here is the reality you've forgotten. You are the scarce resource. Your time is limited. Your focus is valuable. Your energy is currency. Anyone who gains your engagement is receiving a gift. Most people have never considered this. They feel lucky to be included. That era ends now. When you walk into a room, you are not auditioning. You are conducting an assessment. This internal shift alters your external reality. Your posture changes, your gaze steadies, your communication lands with authority. People sense it intuitively. You don't declare this power, you embody it. Drop this final code in the comments. I am the value. This is it, the crown jewel, the culmination of everything we've built. If you master the previous 7 hacks but miss this one, you will only ever be half powerful. This is the piece that transforms your internal reality so completely that your external world has no choice but to reorganize itself around your new center of gravity. Most people, whether they admit it or not, go through life in a state of subtle or not so subtle supplication. They enter rooms hoping to be accepted. They join conversations hoping to be liked. They approach opportunities hoping they are good enough to be chosen. This is a defensive, reactive posture. It's the energy of the applicant, the suitor, the hopeful. It's the mentality of prey, and I cannot overstate this. The world can smell it on you. It's in the slight hesitation before you speak, the quick, seeking glance for approval after you share an idea, the way you frame your requests as questions, the way you position yourself at the edge of the room, physically making yourself smaller. This isn't just body language. It's the external manifestation of an internal plea. Please see me as valuable. Machiavelli's famous dictum, "It is better to be feared than loved, if you cannot be both," has been wildly misunderstood. This isn't a call to be a tyrant or a bully. That is a fragile, unstable form of power that inevitably collapses. The deeper, more psychological reading is this: it is better to be respected for your strength and competence than to be liked for your compliance and amiability, if you have to choose. The fear he speaks of is not terror. It is the sober recognition by others that you are a force to be reckoned with, that you cannot be easily manipulated, dismissed, or used. They may not always like you, but they will have to account for you. This understanding leads us to the most powerful internal shift you will ever make, the move from the applicant mindset to the asset mindset. The applicant mindset sounds like this internally: I hope I make a good impression. Do they like me? I hope I'm good enough for this opportunity. I'm so grateful they're even considering me. I shouldn't ask for too much. I might ruin my chance. This mindset is rooted in scarcity. It assumes that value is something out there, in the room, in the other person, in the opportunity, and you must prove yourself worthy to receive a small piece of it. You are a beggar at the feast, and this internal narrative makes you predictable, controllable, and weak. People will sense your neediness and will either exploit it or be repelled by it. The asset mindset is a complete inversion of this. It is rooted in a fundamental, non-negotiable recognition of your own inherent value. It is the understanding that you are the scarce resource. Let's break down why this is an objective truth, not a fluffy affirmation. Your time is finite. You have a limited number of hours, days, and years on this planet. Every minute you give to a person, a project, or a company is a piece of your life you are never getting back. It is the most valuable currency you possess. Your attention is a prize. In an age of infinite distraction, the ability to focus deeply is a superpower. When you give someone your undivided attention, you are granting them access to one of your most potent cognitive resources. Your energy is your life force. Your mental, emotional, and physical energy powers everything you do. Anyone who drains it is literally consuming your potential. Anyone who gains your energized focus is receiving a gift. Your unique perspective is irreplaceable. Your combination of experiences, skills, and insights exists nowhere else. Your way of solving a problem, seeing an opportunity, or creating something new is unique. You are not a commodity. When you truly internalize this, it changes everything. The internal monologue flips. The asset mindset sounds like this: I will evaluate if this room/opportunity/person is worthy of my time and energy. Do they meet my standards? This company is lucky to have my skills and drive. This person is fortunate to have my attention and loyalty. The burden of proof is on them to show me this is a worthwhile investment of my life. This is not something you say out loud. Let me be perfectly clear. Walking into a job interview and declaring, "You're lucky to have me," is not power, it's arrogance, which is just insecurity in disguise. True power is silent. The asset mindset is an internal frame, a silent, unshakable knowing that radiates from you subconsciously. It's the energy you carry. How this manifests externally: when you hold the asset mindset internally, your entire presence transforms without you having to act. A certain way, your posture, you don't slouch or make yourself small. You occupy space comfortably because an asset doesn't apologize for its presence. Your eye contact, it becomes steady and calm because you are not seeking approval. You are engaged in a mutual assessment. Your voice, it loses its upward, questioning lilt at the end of statements. It carries a grounded weight because your words are not requests for validation. They are contributions. You're listening. You listen not to nervously wait for your turn to speak, but to genuinely gather information for your evaluation. You are the scout, gathering intel. Your negotiations. You stop seeing negotiation as a confrontation and start seeing it as a mutual discovery of value. You know your value, so you can state your terms clearly without aggression or apology. The practical installation, the pre-engagement ritual, you cannot just decide to feel this way. You must ritualize it. Before you walk into any important situation, a meeting, a date, a negotiation, a social event, take 60 seconds, close your eyes if you can, breathe deeply, and run this internal code: I am the asset, my time is limited, my attention is valuable, my energy is powerful, my perspective is unique. I am not here to beg for a seat at the table. I am here to determine if this table is worthy of my presence. They should be working to impress me. Again, this is for you. This is the software you boot up in your mind. It sets the entire frame for the interaction that follows. People are exceptionally perceptive at reading subconscious social cues. They may not know why, but they will feel a shift. They will sense that you are not easily manipulated by social pressure. They will feel that their approval is not your primary objective. This makes you unpredictable and therefore powerful in their eyes. They will lean in. They will listen more closely. They will subconsciously assign more weight to your words. This is the final liberation. You are no longer a slave to the opinions of the room. You are the sovereign, the silent evaluator. You are not being rude. You are being rooted. You are not being arrogant. You are being assured. The weak identity desperately seeks external confirmation that it is enough. The powerful identity, the asset mindset, operates from the unshakable knowledge that it is the prize. When you become the prize, you stop chasing and start choosing, and that is the ultimate Machiavellian power. The central, non-negotiable moral of this story is that your greatest moral obligation is to yourself, to become powerful, effective, and impossible to ignore. For too long, you have been sold a lie, that virtue lies in being small, agreeable, and self-sacrificing. This is not morality. It is a control mechanism disguised as one. The true ethical imperative is to awaken from this trance, to reclaim the power that was conditioned out of you, and to use it to build a life of impact and self-determination. The world operates on a simple, if brutal, calculus. It does not reward good intentions. It rewards effective action. It does not remember the humble. It remembers the influential. To remain weak, to stay quiet, to shrink. This is not being a good person. It is a dereliction of your duty to your own potential. By choosing to stay small, you are not avoiding sin. You are committing the sin of self-abandonment. You are allowing the world to be shaped by those who are brave enough or ruthless enough to seize the power you abdicated. Machiavelli's core lesson, stripped of its historical context, is about ruthless pragmatism in the pursuit of one's goals. The moral of our story is to apply that pragmatism to the one domain you have absolute sovereignty over, your own mind. The virus of a weak identity is not just a personal problem, it is a form of self-betrayal. Every time you silence yourself to keep the peace, you betray your truth. Every time you say yes when your soul screams no, you betray your boundaries. Every time you prioritize being liked over being respected, you betray your worth. Therefore, the highest moral code you can adopt is one of strategic self-mastery. It is moral to be fair, not foolish, because it means you bring your whole, unviolated self to your relationships. It is moral to make fear your compass, because it means you are committed to your own growth rather than your comfort. It is moral to separate your identity from results, because it means you value courageous action over the safe illusion of perfection. It is moral to install the asset mindset, because it means you recognize the profound value of your own time, energy, and life force, and you refuse to squander it. This is not a call to become a cruel or selfish person. In fact, it is the opposite. A truly powerful person, one who is rooted in their own worth, does not need to manipulate or tear others down. They operate from a place of abundance, not scarcity. They can be generous because they are full. They can be kind because it is a choice, not a compulsion. They can lead and protect others because they are not themselves fragile. The ultimate moral, then, is this: your transformation into a powerful individual is not just for you. It is your fundamental responsibility. By deleting the weak identity, you stop being a pawn in someone else's game and become the author of your own life. You cease to be a problem to be managed and become a force that creates solutions. In a world filled with noise and manipulation, the most virtuous act is to become so grounded in your own power that you can no longer be ignored. The world does not need more nice people. It needs more conscious, powerful, and effective ones. Your mission is to become one of them. If you watched this, felt a spark, and then returned to your old protocols tomorrow, this was just noise, another piece of content consumed. I am not here for your entertainment. I am here for your evolution. So, here is your mission, non-negotiable. In the next 24 hours, execute one item from this video, not consider it, do it. Enforce one boundary you normally wouldn't. Convert one fear into a command and act. Select a persona for your next engagement. Perform one act independent of others' opinions. Launch one initiative you've been stalling. Start your evidence ledger tonight with 3 entries. Enter your next space with the asset mindset. One execution, 24 hours, 0 excuses. Your old identity will resist. It will manufacture delays. It will plead for someday. That is the parasite fighting for its life. Exterminate it with decisive action. Machiavelli knew a secret that escapes the masses. The world is won by those who move while others contemplate, who act while others perfect their plans, who decide while others seek consensus. The weak identity asks, "How can I feel ready?" The powerful identity declares, "How will I establish my presence, starting now?" You have the manual. The question is elemental. Will you execute it, or will you archive it? If this video connected, if it gave voice to a buried part of you, if you are ready to truly upgrade, then like this video, share it with one person who is still trapped. You know who they are. Subscribe. More Machiavellian frameworks are coming, more mental tools for those who refuse to be insignificant. Now, close this and execute the mission. Your former self is watching. Show it what comes next.